Hello, and welcome to Alcohol Free Radio. I'm your host, Chris Becker, and I'm excited to have you join us. Whether you are new to the amazing and growing alcohol-free community or someone who is already familiar, we hope you enjoy our program. This is where you can hear from some people making a real difference, whether as brewers and creators of amazing beverages, influencers in the community, retailers, authors, storytellers, and more. You'll be hearing from some amazing people and hopefully learn some new things about the growing world of alcohol-free. We will be using a few segment formats and hosts as we aim to break it down and bring it all together. Our goal is simple: to build awareness about this great community and help make alcohol-free fun, easy, and tasting great. So here we go. Enjoy. Hey everybody, I am looking forward to the episode you are about to hear, where I get to speak with Ian Fee, author of Wild Ride to Sobriety, and we get to talk about what inspired him to write the book and how he's integrated some of that into his life, including his professional work. Hey everybody, welcome to Alcohol Free Radio. This is Chris Becker, and I'm excited to welcome Ian Fee to the show, author of Wild Ride to Sobriety. We're going to get to hear what got him to write the book and how it's been a part of his life, and hopefully a lot of other people who've had a chance to read the book. So welcome, Ian.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate you having me. I look forward to this. Thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to hear stories like yourselves in terms of the non-alc kind of space and journeys of all kinds of different folks. Where are you calling in from?
I'm actually sitting at one of my clients' offices in beautiful Astoria, Oregon, about 3.5 hours south of Seattle.
Nice. Beautiful part of the country. So obviously I'm very interested to hear about your experiences that fill the book Wild Ride to Sobriety. Maybe tell us all a bit about your background in terms of what you do, what kept you busy before that, and what inspired you to write the book.
Yeah. My career has kind of started in the hospitality industry right out of high school. And that's where I realized booze was my superpower, that I use booze as my networking and my reason to entertain and build relationships. You know, I was in the hospitality industry about 6-7 years, and then I got into the automotive space, the finance and insurance world. And again, just thought booze was my superpower and just accelerated relationships through bars and strip clubs and golf and you name it, I've done it. So that's why I got indoctrinated to booze at a super young age. At the age of 1, I had my first sip of beer. I was born in the 70s, 72, and it was pretty normal to bounce around in the back of a car with no car seats and the windows rolled up with smoke blaring. And booze was just, I grew up with it. I was socially around it. Again, like I said, at the age of 1, I had my first beer. I got a lot of funny pictures in my book that resonate with people. At the age of 13, I was bartending. I was bartending my parents' parties. Yeah, I just grew up around booze, and it was just part of what I knew. It's like all I knew. It's like if there's something going on, there's always booze related to it. It was just a product of the environment that I grew up in. So I definitely embraced it.
Right. Well, and it sounds like, to some extent it was what you grew up with, and it was part of, and in a lot of experiences, including my own, it works for a while. What and when did that start to change, and how did that lead to the book itself?
Yeah, in 2017, I think everybody asks, like, when was my rock bottom? Well, I think I just stacked my rock bottoms for a long time, because I think there were a lot of them and I just didn't recognize them, or all these red flags going off. It was like, 2 failed marriages. Clearly those weren't red flags or rock bottoms. But in 2017, I went to a rehab in Seattle, Washington. It's not your traditional AA, aversion therapy, where they actually induce vomiting and they give you booze and you violently throw up to make you not like it. And to this day, my aversion is unbelievably. I could get a whiff of a fireball in my mouth of water. So I went through that rehab, third day in, I kind of went into rehab to save my marriage, save my job, be a better dad, be all this. I went in for all the wrong reasons. And on the third day, I don't know what happened, but the good Lord touched me on the shoulder or something happened. And it was like, unless you're right, nothing will ever be right. So get your shit right, and then everything else will be okay. But until you're right, nothing is ever going to be right. And that just like hit me like a ton of bricks. So then I went in to rehab, came out, lost 13 pounds in rehab, kind of got on this health and wellness kick, lost 80 pounds today. And I really wanted to write the book to make an impact on somebody. If somebody could be a better dad, because I thought I was, this great dad, but I was present, but I was absolutely not present. To be a better business owner, to be a better mom, a better friend, just a better person overall. Nothing good came out of booze for me. Nothing. And I just write this book to tell that story of how much, man, my life has drastically changed from, I don't have these stupid regrets in the morning of like, oh my God, who did I text? What did I email? Oh my gosh, what happened? Who do I need to apologize to? I have none of those. And I had those, Chris, every day I had something that I was, over the top, vulgar, saying rude comments that, you think is funny at the time when you're pretty buzzed up, and they're not. And there were words that were said that will never be unheard. I have none of those anymore. The clarity has just been phenomenal.
Amazing. And tell me about that experience as it relates to the book itself, because writing a book's no small feat. So first of all, congratulations. Having those experiences was one thing, but getting it out onto a written page and thinking that you're going to be sharing that with people that are going to read it, what inspired you to do it, and what was that experience like for you?
Man, it was so therapeutic, actually. And I've kind of always wanted to write a book in my little brain, and I didn't think it would be about, my wild ride to sobriety by no means. I thought it'd be something completely different. But that's where the journey took me. And I found a really good ghostwriter. Because if I wrote the book, it would probably be 4 pages long, and it'd be like a caveman wrote it. And so it took about 17 months, and what an experience. And if anybody has the ability or wants to get a story out there, I highly recommend you do it. It's unbelievably therapeutic. Had this amazing ghostwriter, met with him hundreds of times, lots of calls, wrote a lot about, and talk about a self journey that you go on, because I take it from my beginning days to today, and there is nothing left unsaid, unheard. It's all out there. It's, I'm naked in the book, and I wanted it to be so honest, so truthful. I had my kids write stories in there about, what it was like growing up with, I didn't know what kind of dad I was going to have when he came home. Was he the drunk dad, happy dad, sad dad, mad dad, euphoric dad? Is there a whole entourage of 26 people coming in? We're having another party at the house on a Wednesday night.
Wow.
Those stories are in there. I talk a lot about my circle, my friends that were so important in my journey. And if it could go make an impact on one person, it was a win for me. But just writing the book alone, I could have been just fine, because it was so therapeutic. I journal today. I thought like 87-year-old ladies journal. I journal today since I've written the book, of how therapeutic it is just to get your thoughts, your feelings out on paper, whatever it is. I don't care what it is, just jot it down. In my journey of health and wellness, people are a lot of curious, like, how'd you lose 80 pounds? Like, I got a picture in my book that I'm borderline unrecognizable to myself. I look at this thing and be like, what happened? I don't know if you can see that there, but that's
it's a huge change.
2016 in Vegas. I was like, who is this large Marge guy? Like, just a drunk oblivion. Like, what kind of example was I setting for my business and my, mentors and my kids, more importantly, and my relationships? Is like, holy cow, you were just a mess. And if something can pick up out of that story, and I talk a lot about forgiveness. I had to forgive my parents for a lot of stuff, which I've had a lot of people be like, hey, that really hit me when you talked about your parents and forgiveness. So it's been a great feeling. It makes me feel so good to go make an impact on people, and I feel that that's my purpose from just what I get back from social media and people's comments on the books. It'll be like, hey, you really helped me. You helped me turn my relationship around. I'm a better dad. And that's what it's all about. And it's a super easy read. You could read it in an hour.
Okay. And I think that's interesting too, that because there are a lot of people, knowing that the telling of the stories and people being vulnerable and sharing is helpful for those that may feel that they're alone in this journey. And I know that's a big part of what we see in here too, obviously without a book, but with the various non-alc beverages and that whole space. But as you went through that process, you had a business, like you said, a lot of your work and business, whether you were in Vegas or wherever else, had alcohol infused in it. You stop drinking, you write the book, but you still have a business to run. Talk about kind of the before and after without that that element.
Yeah, and I thought I used booze as I thought it was my superpower. Like that was
right. Yeah, that's how you described it at the beginning.
Yeah. And today I'm still the life of the party. I can still go sit in bars. I can still socialize with clients. I can still go do all these events and, not have that infliction of booze and be,
right.
I can still go buy booze for, I don't preach like, hey, if you don't want to drink, I'm not here to preach. Everybody knows when it's their time. And I think there's people out there that can actually, handle their booze, that are fine. So in those environments, the NA business that you're in, man, is phenomenal. And kudos to you for, I think you're getting it in at the right time and it's cutting edge. And it is a transformation out there. In these bars that I sit in, I drink, soda water with a lime. Kind of looks like a vodka soda. At first, be like, hey, you're not drinking. And, a lot of people get intimidated to be in those environments, or the peer pressure get them that it's not okay. And they drink. They succumb to that peer pressure and be like, fine, I'll drink. I had enough willpower, in the aversion therapy that I went through really wouldn't allow it, because it would be just a mess in a bar. So I drink, soda water and limes. And it's easy for me in those environments because I'm so clear and I feel so great the next morning. I don't miss hangovers, anxieties. I don't miss any of it.
Yeah, it gives you a positive experience instead of a negative to kind of motivate you.
For sure. And I'm an early riser, and, I see these people, the next morning they're hungover, they need a Bloody Mary, and I'd be like, that used to be me. And I do not miss those days of how many days I've wasted. I could add up years of wasted hungover time, wasted sitting in bar time that just were wasted relationships. Horrible. I have so much more time back. I have no regrets. In the morning, I don't have that anxiety. I lost 80 pounds. It's just, I'm a new man. And if I can go make that impact on somebody of like, just be sober curious for a little bit and try it and see how you feel. And more importantly, how are your relationships? I was just talking to somebody about sitting in a bar, and you could watch this cute couple comes in, all romantic, lovey-dovey. The drinks start flowing. The espresso martini is about 4 in. Now they're irritated. They're henpecking each other, and they left mad. Yeah. The common denominator there was booze. Like, how do people not? It's so clear to me today, but it wasn't obviously clear to me because of 2 failed marriages. I'm, preaching to the choir here a little bit of like, I'm not the icon of a relationship. But as soon as I took booze out, it's completely different. But you can watch it in these environments. You go to sporting events, and you can watch like the booze flow, and then be like, people are irritated at each other, and be like, do you not see that there's the problem? It's not your relationship. It's not you two. It's take out the booze. You're probably going to be great.
Do you, in kind of taking that and applying it to your business world, you mentioned the bar and being able to go to what might be a work event and not feel uncomfortable or be able to go there. But beyond that, like, do you find, and this could be people who've read the book, what do you say to folks that are thinking about it? They know that it's the right life choice for them, but they get those barriers like, I don't know if I'd be okay being in a bar with other people who are drinking and feeling left out or feeling awkward, or how am I going to do what I do for my living because I play golf and I have to go to work events and I have to go to conferences, and they build up all of these almost excuses why it's not going to work for them. Their lifestyle isn't amenable to not drinking, because our society has integrated drinking so fully into almost every aspect. Like you said, it can be part of your whole life if you want it to be. What do you say to folks like that who maybe have read your book, or just that experience that you've gone through, who see them as obstacles that can't be overcome?
Yeah, for any amount of change to happen, you have to get uncomfortable being uncomfortable.
Right.
And for me, it was uncomfortable being in those bars, but I had a mindset. I just kind of had my little vision and manifest, like, what's the night going to look like? That I'm going there to build relationships. I'm going to remember people's names. I'm going to remember their hobbies. I'm going to do what it takes to build a relationship. Before it'd be like, oh, you're drinking a Sauvignon Blanc, and this person's over here is having White Russian. Like I could tell you everybody's drinks. I could tell you most of my clients' drinks, but I couldn't tell you about how old their kids are, right? I couldn't tell you how long they've been in business. So I just changed that mindset of like, I'm going to learn so much about this person that I'm clouded by like even thinking about booze, because I'm so focused on what am I trying to accomplish here, and really just be a kind, genuine person and genuinely interested in people. Before I was like, oh yeah, let's have another drink. And then just, it was always constantly like, when I was in a room, I could be talking to you, but I'm worried about this person over here. Their drink's slow, so I need to go get another White Russian, and I got to get another Manhattan over here, to where you're talking to me. I didn't hear a word you said because I was so worried about everybody else. And kind of, I would leave there and be like, man, I really don't know anything about anybody except Jim over here had 6 White Russians, 4 Sauvignon Blancs over here. Like, I would remember that, but I couldn't tell you, anything else about them. So, and I know it's really tough to go into those environments, especially if it's fresh coming off of like you're trying to get sober, or you're sober curious. You got to get uncomfortable. One, if you want to change, it's like anything. It's going to the gym. It's losing weight. It's not eating sugar. I don't care what it is in life that you're trying to do. It's going to be uncomfortable. And right. Get uncomfortable being uncomfortable, and just get in that mindset of like, this is going to be uncomfortable, and I'm going to work through it. And here's my plan and my goal of what I'm trying to do in this event. It's a game changer.
Okay, and then when I like that, because I think it could be applied not just to being in a bar, but if you're out golfing or out doing whatever, there's going to be people that can become your superpower.
Yeah,
being
absolutely.
Being uncomfortable.
Yep, that's my new superpower.
And the other piece that I think I missed it, but when we were talking about you have a story to tell, you just think, oh, I want to tell that story, but I got to learn how to write a book. You found a ghostwriter. Like, you had the story, but you found somebody to help you with that part. You don't have to do it all yourself if you want to get your story out there. How did that work? For sure.
There's so many resources.
Okay.
The book actually was going to start with 3 of us. 3 of us were sitting in Irvine at a work conference. We were having lunch. Same place we've been to, that we've had martini lunches, got pie-eyed out of there. And table sitting across from us kind of reminded us of our old days. They're having martinis, they're talking about work, and they're going back to their function. Be like, man, that used to be us, the good old days, huh, boys? And it'd be like, feels so much better. I don't miss those. Remember? And we would go through these stories of just debauchery after that. And one of the guys like, we should write a book. I'm like, we absolutely should write a book and share our story and make an impact. Literally called a ghostwriter the next day that one of the guys knew.
Okay.
So that's kind of where it started. Is I wouldn't even know how to start to write a book.
But there's people out there that can help you. So that's
so many resources.
It's important that people know that.
Now that you could just Google ghostwriter or I want to write a book, and they will step by step, and to get it published on Amazon was like, I would have no clue how to do that. I'm so far detached from that world, and how it's published, and like who ships the book. Like it became such a really
that's so cool.
Easy
to know that
process. Now that I've done it, it's like I would like to do another one.
Cool. And in what direction would that take you? Do you know enough about where you might go next with your story, and maybe talk a bit about kind of MIG, Make It Great?
Yeah. MIG started actually in rehab. So there was this big smokers table outside. I'm not a smoker, but that's where everybody hung out.
Sure.
And again, I was the life of the party, so I would always order in shakes for people and pizza, and I created this brotherhood and sisterhood while we were all there for 10 days. Because that's kind of what I knew how to do. Is like, let's get all these people together and have fun and learn about each other. So one of the gals is like, man, you just make everybody feel great, and your energy and your vibe, and like, that's where Make It Great started. And then a couple guys were like, yeah, let's go make an impact on people and go share our stories so people aren't sitting in this toilet bowl that we're sitting in to be better. And then gal wrote, designed the logo and scratched it into the table. So that's kind of where Make It Great started to make an impact. And to answer the question of like what would be next, one is to continue to make an impact on people. I talk a lot about how important your circle is. It's that old saying of like, you show me your five friends, I'll show you your future. And my core, my core four I talk about is been pivotal for me. They are they keep me out of dark spots. And these are the same people I used to drink and party with and be the life of the party.
And so they've stopped drinking as well, or drink less, or their lives have changed?
Absolutely think they drink less. Health and wellness has been a priority for them. They clearly don't drink as much when I was, for sure, because that was my superpower, man.
Right.
So yeah, they drink way less.
We definitely see that. People, like, some people's path to sobriety is more direct, and some people have sober, curious, mindful drinking never started as much, especially for the younger generations. It's just different paths than growing up in the 70s and 80s like we did.
Right.
So, but it does kind of create a common element. It's certainly not. I think one of the things some people like you telling your story allows is you can talk about it now, whereas maybe 10 years ago it would have been more. It was you felt more alone, and it was less of a comfortable topic. Whereas now, people know what dry. It's not. People tend to know what a dry January is. They may make fun of it, but they at least know what it is. So you can kind of. It's not a completely new topic.
Right. Yeah, and it's. I was just clouded by it. Like, I didn't even realize. I thought drinking was just. It is what it is, and I had no problem, and lots of carnage and drama behind me. Now I have none of it. I didn't know. I would have been so much farther ahead in business, my relationship with my kids, which are phenomenal today.
Right.
So
good.
Yeah.
Well, I think you getting a chance to tell your story, not just here, but more importantly in the book and elsewhere, thank you, because I'm sure it's helping a lot of people. How do folks get in touch with you to hear more about MIG or your book or just your story in general?
Yeah, I'm on all social media platforms, Ian Fee on Instagram, Ian Fee on Facebook, Ian Fee MIG on TikTok. You can get my book on Amazon, get it off my website at ianfee.com. So, nice. Yeah, I'm pretty much plastered all over social media and LinkedIn and most of those.
I like your new type of plastered.
Well, I appreciate it. I can't thank you enough for having me, and keep doing what you're doing. You're on a cutting edge business platform there with all this non-alcoholic, sober, curious buzz going on.
Thank you. Ian Fee, author of Wild Ride to Sobriety. Thanks for coming on and sharing your story.
I appreciate you. Have a great week.
Yep, you too. Take care.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Alcohol Free Radio. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a message on social media or through email at hello@betterroads.com. Great to be here with you all together. Take care.